So, welcome to everybody to the Transformation Nurse Academy podcast. We are on part three of the interview with Alicia. No, Alicia. Shit, Alicia Tresidder. No, I've
Tresidder.
almost fucked it up. Tresidder.
Tresidder.
That's what I said, didn't I?
No, you said
Alicia.
Tresidder.
Oh shit. See,
Like
because I'm fucking
cedar, like
reading it. See, if I don't fucking
bitter.
read it, Alicia Tresidder. See, if I don't read it,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was brought up in the days of phonetics, bitches. That's fucking phonetics. I'm reading it the way it's motherfucking spelled and shit. All right, so and hold on, I gotta go back to look at my interview questions here. All right, let me get my shit back up here. All right, anyway, welcome, bitches. We're on part three of the interview with Alicia Tresidder.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, because I see your fucking name now, I can't read that shit. All right, so we left off um where we were talking about your surgery. So you had surgeries on
Mhm.
the S1, S2. They were decompressing the Tarloff's
Mhm.
cyst, and it was causing problems it was causing problems down on your S1 and S2, which was causing bowel and bladder issues. So you
Mhm.
were incontinent both.
Yes,
So your poor husband had to clean up your caca and your
he
pee.
sure did, and that's how I knew
That
he
son of
was
a
the
bitch is
right
love
man.
right there.
Oh,
Holy
yes, it
shit.
is, and he didn't bat an eye or nothing.
I don't think Miss Pat would do that shit for me because she wouldn't even change the diapers on our babies and shit.
Oh, Miss Pat loves you. You know she would do it.
I
Don't lie.
didn't know. She wouldn't do it for our kids. She might pay somebody. But I told her, I said, if
I
you have
mean,
to pay somebody, you gotta get me a big Mexican lady with big titties so she can hit me in my face while she's washing my ass and shit.
so you could motorboat.
Yeah. For those of you
Uh,
can't see, we also have this. It will be on YouTube and shit, so you can see me and fucking Alicia fucking motorboating each other and stuff. So then, so then you also talked about in the last part you were talking about because you can if you can go on YouTube, you motherfuckers, you can see on her. I don't know if she wants to see it. That's why she's wearing a motherfucking
right
turtleneck and shit.
there.
She you could see the surgery where they did a surgery you said up on the S5, right?
C5.
No, C5, sorry, C5,
C5
and
to
that you had
C7.
compression of the spinal column. That's why
Mm-hmm.
you were having problems and pain. But and this was stemmed from her first husband who was abusive, drug her around, threw her around and stuff. And how long were you married to this motherfucker? How long did it take
7
you to wake the
years.
fuck up?
7 years.
7 fucking years. See how crazy women are and shit? Y'all put up
Mm-hmm.
with some stupid shit, man. Was the dick that good?
It's easier said
Well,
than
no, no,
done.
let's back up. Was the dick that good?
No.
See what I mean? So why it ain't dick? So then why? What's wrong with women? Like why do you? I know it's easier said than done, but help us understand it because men and people don't understand when it comes to abuse why women stay with abusive relationships. Is it because of the kids?
You know,
Is it because women think they can change somebody, which we know you can't? But is it what is it?
it's a little bit of all of the above. One of it, the saying is love is blind. It is. Love
Yeah,
is
I know.
blind. And
Miss Pat stay with me, so she must be blind.
I mean, this is true. But, love is blind. And I
Is it love, or do you think it
wholeheartedly
stems from your abuse coming up
that
as a
too, I
child?
think
Because you want to be loved, you want to be needed, and how could I be this fucked up that nobody in my life loves me and wants to
yeah,
treat
and
me
want to
right?
hurt me. And I had zero self-esteem. I it was that pattern of abuse that when you come from abuse, it's not that easy to break and to break that
Right,
chain and to see it, and you might get a glimpse of it, but you just kind of keep going on. And when
right.
you're raising kids, and I was a housewife at the time, and all of that, it was like I just figured, okay, this is life, this is what I'm supposed to do, this is how it's supposed to be, and all of that. But
And you came from Georgia where it was legal to fucking hit your wife still.
yeah, yeah, and
I know,
and
but
the
it might have
things,
put that in your thought process. I mean, people don't really realize that, but if you know it's legal for a man to hit a woman in Georgia and then get away with that shit, and
yeah,
maybe that subconsciously,
yeah. I honestly, I didn't have the willpower or the strength, and was just kind of lost. I honestly was lost. And when I was thinking of my kids and thinking of, well, what do? I'd never, I worked, but never like really worked.
Right.
And
What
when I
did you do?
started, I worked as a waitress, a hostess, and then
All serving jobs. Not that it's wrong,
yes.
but I mean, I wonder if that's
Yeah,
because we
customer
like to serve
service.
people and yeah,
Absolutely.
to try to make
And
people feel better.
exactly. And then I worked at Home Depot and here in Merced. And when I worked here, and so I was away more, and I just started meeting people and I was like, oh, this is interesting. And like I'd never really met adults. Like my friends were friends, like a couple of friends that I had from high school. Like so it was just kind of they came with me, kind of thing. And so meeting new people and hearing other people's stories and just talking about things. And then I had a friend who pointed out to me, like, hey, that's not okay. Like, what are
But
you
but
doing?
but before that friend pointed it out, did you have other friends that you hung around that knew about him abusing you and physically hurting you?
Nobody really knew. I didn't tell anybody.
Nobody even close to you.
No.
All right.
I
Why
I
do you
I
think it is that
wouldn't.
you didn't? Why is it that you think you didn't share it? Was it because you were ashamed, embarrassed, scared? Why is it that
Oh,
you? Why do you think you feel like you didn't share it with anybody?
I
And why
think
did you share it with that person at Home Depot?
I was scared and I was afraid. Um and I think I shared with the person at Home Depot because she was sharing stories with me. And then
Mm.
she had asked me questions about, I don't even remember what it was. We were outside smoking a cigarette and we were just
Don't be
talking.
smoking, kids.
And
Smoking causes cancer.
yes, don't do that. And then I don't know, it just kind of brought to light to me and kind of brought it more to light and I started getting this strength, this sense of like
Mm.
I I I can
I
overcome this.
deserve
I'm
better.
strong. I deserve
Hmm.
better. I deserve this. I deserve that. Being told for so long that you won't amount to anything, that you can't do nothing on your own, you start to believe it. You really
Right.
do.
Yeah, I
And
know.
it's unfortunate. And so when I started getting that sense of awareness for myself that hey, I can do this. I am strong. I'm not vulnerable.
How old were you though when you started feeling that sensation?
23.
No, I mean I know it sounds like it's a long time, but it's not really. I get you.
But not until
I
I
know.
was 23. It was it
What time? How old were you when you broke free?
I started the process at 23. I fully left August 1st, 2024.
Wait. Say that one more time.
Oh, sorry. August 1st, 2004.
Okay, I
Sorry.
was like, damn,
I was like,
damn.
yeah.
Does your husband know that you're still with your other husband?
Right. Right? Oh my
so,
gosh.
so,
Yeah.
so you were 23, but it took you until 2004 to break free. But
Yes.
did was it hard? Was he always stalking you? Did he want to try to come around? Was it control freak?
Oh
Still
yeah.
trying to cause trouble?
Yes. So in 2003, when I made the decision, I had to go to a paralegal, and I had to secretively do it. And I was timed every time I left
Right.
the house. So
Oh,
when
he
I
would time
left,
you.
yeah, he would time me. I would have to call and
Did
say, I'm
he
leaving
have a
now.
fucking job?
Yeah, he did. He worked.
But yeah, he still had time to time you.
Yes. I would
What
have
the
to
fuck?
call. I would have
That's
to
weird as
call.
fuck. You know that, right?
I do. I would have to call when I left and then call when I got home and
I'm gonna
everything.
text
And
Miss Pat
so
right now. I'm timing your ass and shit.
don't do that.
I'm just teasing.
And so because he had told me at one point that if I can't have you, nobody can. And so then
Hmm.
that made me fear.
And
And
that's a common thing amongst abusers. They always say that. That's the
yeah,
thing they always say. If I can't have you, nobody can.
yeah.
You think
And
that's
so
you think that's a mental issue or a control issue or both?
I think it's both. He had a hard life too. He was
I
abused
did too, but
growing
I
up.
never fucking beat nobody other
Right,
than my
I know.
kids.
It's a choice, right? It's a choice you
Mm.
make. And
Did
people
you
can make
beat
that
anybody?
choice. Huh?
Did you beat anybody? You have you? I thought I had a fucked up life. You have a really fucked up life. Did you beat anybody?
No.
Did you
Not that
abuse
didn't
anybody?
deserve it.
I know that, but I mean, it didn't
No,
cause
I
you to
didn't.
abuse it.
No, no,
You know what I
no,
mean?
I didn't.
So,
I
so
didn't.
I'm just calling
No.
bullshit. I just think people, they. I think that's maybe who they are sometimes. But I get
Yeah,
you.
definitely. I believe there's a chemical imbalance, and that's a choice that they make. That's who they choose to be for whatever
Mm.
reason. And so I left, and then yeah, it continued two more times after I moved out here.
Where
And
were you? Where were you when this happened? Where were you
Modesto,
guys living when he physically beat you and hurt you?
Modesto,
And now where you at?
Merced.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So after you left Modesto and moved to Merced,
Mm-hmm.
he still followed you and physically harmed you.
Yes.
And is he still alive?
Yes.
And the cops won't do anything about it.
So I did call the cops when he had done what he did on my daughter's birthday in 2004. I did call the cops. He was arrested. I actually drove him, ironically as this sounds, but I have a reason. So I did drive
No,
him
you
to the
don't,
police
cause you
station.
crazy as shit. Women don't. Y'all
I
are crazy,
know,
man.
but
I ain't
I
driving that
drove him.
motherfucker. I drag him behind the car and shit, but I ain't driving.
Yeah, I drove him to the jail because I wanted to be able to sleep and know that he was, because I was afraid
Wait,
that
wait. Why did you have to drive him to the jail? Why didn't the fucking cops come and pick his ass up?
yeah, well, he had ran. And so I think that's what it was. And so I dropped him off there, and they're like, do you still want to press charges? I said, yes. And then
Yeah, I
the
want to
cops
press
asked
charges,
me,
bitch.
yeah,
Let
the
me
cops
let
like,
this motherfucker beat you and choke you and see if you don't want to press charges.
right. And the cops like, well, why'd you bring him? I said, because I want to sleep tonight. I want to know that I'm going to wake
See,
up
that's the
tomorrow
same
for
thing
my
I ask.
kids.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
I know. I know. I said, I didn't bring him because
I would have
one,
called the
something, I
cops so
want to
they
be
could have
with
beat his
him.
ass a little bit.
Right. And so I called the cops. They did a restraining order in Stanislaus County, and then I moved here to Merced, and then he walked through his restraining order. I went back into the hospital. I ended up in the hospital.
So wait. So you had a restraining order. He came
Mm-hmm.
and beat your ass again. So you had to go back to the hospital
Yes.
after you drove him to the cops. I mean,
Yes.
after you drove him to the police station.
Yeah.
See, that's
And
why you don't
so
drive a motherfucker to the police
I know.
station.
I know.
You should have drug his ass.
And so he went. He didn't get arrested, but we went to court. I did call the cops, and
Why
so
did
we
he
went.
not get arrested?
I don't know why he didn't get arrested. To be
See what I
honest
mean?
with you, I
And
don't know why.
people wonder why we so mad at our system and shit.
Right. And I don't know why. And I was like, he has a restraining order. He showed up at my house at 4 a.m. while everybody's asleep. He's not on my rent. This is my house, my
Right.
kids. And so
Did the cops come at 4 a.m.?
no, so he kind of tortured me a bit. So he locked me in my room and took the phones and locked my doors and restrained
So you
me
could
in my room.
so you
So it's
couldn't call the
technically
cops.
felony entrapment. Yeah, so I couldn't call. And then I was trying to get my inhaler because I couldn't breathe. And so he finally opened the door, and I was able to grab my purse and get my inhaler, but it wasn't helping. And so then I was trying to get out the front door. I was belly crawling out the front door to get air. And then I sounded like a seal.
Mm.
And then my lips, I guess, were turning blue because I was going in and out of consciousness. And he whispered in my ear and says, "I'm not going to jail for you. Fuck you. I'm not calling 911, whatever."
Holy shit.
And then I don't know, he said something snapped in his head. He ended up calling 911, and I could hear the
Because he
lady's
didn't want to be in
voice.
trouble for murder.
Yeah. And so I heard the lady's voice, like, is she breathing? Is she, he's like, her lips are turning blue. And then I just remember,
But yeah, he still didn't get arrested.
no,
How fucked up is that?
I know. And I had a cop at the hospital talking to me, and then a cop showed up at my house because he tried to say I was on drugs. So while I was at the hospital, I said, no, 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 never, never, never do a drug test right now. So my friend was one of the nurses there, and she's like, "Is it gonna come up clean?" I said, "Yes. I don't do drugs. I like
Is
I
he
like
gonna
my
come up clean?
alcohol, but no."
Right.
So anyhow, they did the drug test. It was all negative. He ended up getting a second restraining order on him in Merced County. Um, and they thought it was funny because he thought he was above the law and thought that, oh, well, you think you can walk through your restraining order and you can do this and that. And so, yeah. So,
But
and
he
then the
did.
next day, I
He
went and
did
got
walk through it.
emergency. Mm-hmm.
He did walk through it though. He was
Mm-hmm.
above the law because he did walk through it and they didn't do shit.
Yep.
What color was he?
He's Portuguese.
I don't know what that means. What color is Portuguese?
Oh, he's tan.
I don't know. I know a lot of Portuguese, but I don't know any tan ones. But okay. I don't.
Yeah.
But I just call him bullshit because I don't know why. If you have a restraining order, he didn't get arrested and shit. Is he still
Exactly.
around?
Yes.
And is he? Do you talk to him still?
I do. Well, my youngest
Why?
turned 18 and I celebrated. Um, right now,
Has he ever apologized?
oh, yeah. Yeah. He apologized to me
Did you
10
accept it?
years ago and then actually recently apologized to me. And then he actually ended up telling all of our daughters the truth.
Mm,
And
do you accept his apology?
I do.
You're so nice because I wouldn't. You know
Here's
what I
why.
want to do.
Here's
I
why.
know it's for your peace.
Karma's a bitch. And you have to deal with that on judgment day. That's
I,
I'm not going to bear that burden any longer
I know
because
that,
to
but
me I feel like
vengeance is
it's
mine,
been
saith
given him
Kevin.
control. I know. Trust me, I trust me. Yeah.
I know, but I mean, what if that was one of his daughters that somebody was doing the same thing to? How would he have liked that?
Oh yeah, he's not liking that.
See what I mean? So then
Yeah.
why is it okay that he did it?
Exactly, and that's why
So
he's come clean to our daughters and he was like, "You want he was like he's like, "I will come there. You could beat the shit out of me with your husband there, the girls there, anybody you
well,
want.
that
I
doesn't
I
mean
don't
nothing. But
care." But I'm like,
have you ever thought
"No.
about suing him to get your medical coverage?
No.
Why not?
I wouldn't know where to start with that."
Mm. I don't. But now you're having to pay for his crimes and his punishment on you and his abuse on you, and then your insurance may not cover it all, and you're still
Right.
paying out of pocket.
Right. And I
Yeah.
told him, I said, everything I'm suffering through is because of you. You understand that, right? He's
And
like,
what's
I
he say?
do. I do. I
So you
do.
gonna
I'm
help me
so
with my
sorry.
medical bills? You gonna help me with my
Right.
medical bills?
You handle
Why
my
don't he go?
medical.
Why don't he come and build a damn ramp for your ass?
Right.
Seriously though, have you ever
I
asked him?
know. No,
Ask him. You won't, will you?
probably not.
See, why not?
I don't know.
FTP.
I've never.
FTP. You know
Fuck
what that
that
means?
shit.
Fuck that puta, man. Make that motherfucker
Oh,
pay and
wait, you
shit.
said P.
P, right? FTP. F is in Frank, T is in Tom, P is in Paul. Fuck that
Yeah.
puta, man. Make him pay.
Yeah.
Why should you have to pay out of your pocket, and why should your current husband pay out of pocket when he's the one that fucked your ass up?
I know. I
You know,
know.
because it's
No, I
not right.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree. One thing that I do, our daughter's getting married. My oldest, she's getting married, and my youngest is going through some stuff, and needs help financially. I'll call your dad. You want me to call him for you? I call him. Hey, so I need you to do this. Okay, not a problem. Like, as long as my daughters are taken care of and he's helping them, that makes me happy, and I'm okay, because I don't want nothing from him. I don't need anything
I
from
know. I
him, and it
got you.
took
I
me a
understand.
long time to get to this place. So that's where, for me, I'm like, I already have to live with it every day, that I'm just like,
So, how many surgeries did you have to have because of
two,
what he did to you?
two,
So, you did the one down in S1, S2, and then you did the one up in
the
S5.
neck,
Now, we talked about this S5. I'm sorry, your C5. Sorry, C5 keeps your
breath.
diaphragm alive, right? Helps you to
Mm-hmm.
breathe and shit. So you're lucky that he didn't fuck you up enough where you're even in worse shape and stuff.
Yeah,
But have
yeah.
you seen yourself when did you have your surgeries? What year were your surgeries?
So my neck surgery was 2016, and my back surgery was 2015.
So that was about maybe four, see, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
8 years you've been suffering this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen yourself deteriorate over the 8 years?
Yes.
And you're only 44, you said.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen when you're 54, 64, 74? You know what I mean? Have you thought about
Yeah,
that though?
I have. That's why, like I have the wheelchair. My oldest daughter wants me to move in with her, and I said I'm not going to
Wh-
move in with you.
Why is that? What does
You
she want
know,
you to move in with her?
so she
Don't laugh
wants
and
me.
shit because you may need help. And
I
what if your
know,
husband can't physically help you? You know
right? And so because she wants to be able to be there to help me,
what's wrong with that?
I I am really bad at not wanting to be a burden to my children.
I don't think it's a burden. You fucking bore your kids. They tore up your damn vagina, and
Yeah.
now you suffered because at the
Mhm.
hands of their damn daddy and shit. So I mean, if they're willing to do it and they're financially stable enough to do it,
Mhm.
maybe you can help. Do they have kids?
My youngest has a little boy. He'll be 2 in
No, but the
May.
one that's fucking wanting you to
No,
live with
not
them.
yet. Not yet.
So see, but once they start having kids, you can help 'em with their kids, and
Mhm.
maybe that will give you a purpose to improve your and keep your mind and your body, strong. That you're the Japanese
Mhm.
call it the ikigai. Ikigai. I don't know if
Oh,
I'm saying
really?
that right, but never heard of that.
No.
What is your purpose? Do you have a purpose? What is your
Mm.
purpose? I'm asking you. What is your
Mm.
fucking purpose
Right now I
besides
don't.
sitting in besides sitting in a motherfucking chair and relaxing and enjoying life and shit? And
I'm
think about
enjoying
that.
my retirement, but I feel my purpose is to spread awareness and knowledge to other people and try to help others the best that I can. To
What
give insight.
what do you want? What knowledge do you want to spread?
I want to spread knowledge that, what? You don't know everybody's story. You don't know everybody's past. You don't know everybody's traumas. You don't know what they're going through. And it's okay regardless of what you're going through. It's okay. You're going to make it. It's okay. It's okay to not be okay some
Right.
days. It's don't unpack and stay there. My best friend tells me that all the time. It's okay. But just don't unpack and stay there, and that resonates
What
with
does
me.
that
But
mean? Don't unstack and pay. Don't unpack and stay there. What does that mean?
so don't unpack and stay there. So when I'm feeling low of low, don't choose to stay in the low. Be there for
Mm.
a moment, but don't live in there. Don't live in that
Right,
moment.
but if I'm a
Move
nurse
past it.
taking care of a patient and I unpack my shit right there on my patient, what is that going to do to my patient? Is that my
That's going to
patient's
make your
responsibility
Yeah,
to
you're
listen
putting
to
a
my
burden on your
burdens?
patient, and that's not for them to have. You keep that with yourself. You move on
Right.
past it. You don't give it to others. To You don't be somebody else's burden.
What
You
if we're
can't
t-
put that
what?
on your patient.
But what if we're already talking like you and I are, and my patient asked me about my past? What if I share it?
If you go and you share your experience because you feel that that is going to help uplift them and give them some insight and give them hope,
hmm
then I feel that
Well, I
that's
think it
okay.
does give them hope because if people understand how fucked up your life was, but you still became a what?
Still became a nurse, still
Right. So,
succeeded.
so if Alicia can do it, then why can't I?
You can.
See what I mean? That's
Yeah.
why I share my life with people because if I came from a fucked up background and I'm made myself into something, not it's nothing fancy, but something, then anybody can fucking do that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
There's only one person stopping your ass, and who's that?
Yourself.
Yeah. So, so how are you now though? So you had surgery in 2016. You had a corpectomy. You said.
Mhm.
Tell everybody
Mhm.
what a corpectomy is.
So a corpectomy is where they removed C5 vertebrae to C7 vertebrae and the discs, and then they put in a cage and a plate, and it's held in by screws
A
to open up
cage
the
and a
spinal cord.
plate.
Mhm.
Now you gonna make me fucking Google this shit. Corpectomy. See if I can see some pictures.
And my cage is purple and my plate is green. My surgeon showed me what colors he put.
So I see screws that they screwed from one vertebrae to the other, but I don't see a fucking cage.
I'll show you.
Hmm. I wish I could
Yeah.
show you this shit, but I don't see a cage, but I see all the screws and shit. There's like a lot of screws. I wonder if it's just not showing it
It's
properly.
Yeah, there's a lot of screws. It shows up all the time every time I have to have an MRI done. Everybody
Are
freaks
you
out.
able to have an MRI with all that metal?
I am, but it's a special one. I have to go into the I think it's a three three T, I think is what they call it.
I wonder if it's the what I'm seeing is because I see a disc. I see maybe the pieces. I don't know. It's not very good explaining this shit. But I don't see a cage. What do you mean by cage?
I'll show you. I'm pulling it up right now for you.
Because I see, I see some X-rays. It looks like it's a piece of metal that goes into the top of a vertebrae, and then it goes along the length of the vertebrae, and then down on the bottom of another vertebrae. Maybe I don't know where they. Because when you say cage, I'm thinking of a metal. Oh, I see what they're doing here. So it's like a
So
piece of
let's
metal.
this is a cage.
So does it wrap around your spinal cord
The
so you don't get
spinal
fucked
cord.
up?
Yeah.
Yeah, but how does it not? How does it that? How does that? How does that not irritate the spinal cord and make it irritated and swelling so it causes it not to function? Is that what
So
maybe some of the? Is
what
that what
they
maybe some of the numbness and tingling and
Oh yeah, no,
bowel
I
and bladder issues?
definitely yeah, I still have all of that. I get the numbness and tingling in my hand. Um
Is the pee
and
and
then in
pooping
my
better?
leg. Huh?
Are you able to control your bowel and bladder better?
I
Do you still have
was
issues?
I still have issues. Yeah. I still have issues from it.
Now I'm going to ask you a personal question. Do you wear
Go ahead.
Depends
I don't wear the Depends, but I wear the pads.
or like a lady
Like a
pad?
poise.
Why is that? Wait,
Because
wait,
I
wait.
can't
What's it called? What's it called? A
it's
poise?
called poise.
Maybe we can get a fucking a commercial paid for by Poise.
Right. So I wear that because I can't control and I dribble.
Oh, I got you. And that's
Yeah.
because of the S1, S2, probably.
Mhm. Mhm.
So how is your sensation down there?
It comes and goes. Sometimes it's lacking and sometimes it's there. It just kind of it's a hit and miss. Really, it's not always good and not always bad.
But has it progressively gotten worse since 2016, or has it stayed the same? Has it improved?
I
Does it
would
come and go?
I would say it's probably gotten worse.
Gotten worse. I got you.
Mhm.
Since
Mhm.
so, do you think it's going to get worse as the older you get? What has
Yes.
the what is their their prognosis for your is?
That's something I'm just going to have to kind of deal with. So
That's
I've
all they
stuck
say. I'm sorry that you
I
got fucked up and abused, but this I'm gonna you're gonna have to live with this shit.
yeah, so they cuz they can't they were hoping that and they always say, we hope the nerves will heal themselves, but they said normally they don't.
Yeah, because we
And
haven't figured out how to do it other than using the use of stem cells. Have you ever looked into stem cell treatment?
I have not looked into that in my so I'm still seeing Stanford doctors.
Ask them
They
about that.
hmm
Ask them about it. Stem cell therapy. I
I
wish that
will.
we would teach. I wish we would teach everyone about saving your
Umbilical cord,
umbilical
right?
cords. Yeah,
Mhm.
your cord blood and stuff. Because maybe it would for shit like this, it might have helped. I don't know if it would, but it doesn't hurt to try and shit.
It doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah.
It does
So
not hurt to try.
I talked to you off screen about this earlier. So I'm gonna ask you now. Do you still have a sex life? Because you know
I
I'm an
do.
ODB. What's an ODB?
Old
You forgot.
dirt bag. No,
Ah,
old. No, no. What'd you say?
that's fucked up.
Old dirty bastard.
Right,
Okay.
old dirty bastard. That's right.
Old dirty
So do you still
bastard.
have a sex life?
I do.
Is it the same?
It's not. I don't get to do the fun things that we used to do before because of positions.
All right, but do you still have
Um,
good sensation? Are you still able to orgasm?
I am. It just takes a little bit longer, a little bit
So
more
your husband has to be
finesse.
your husband has to be a little bit more patient.
Yes, I had to go through and not many people know this.
I don't know this probably.
I did not even know this, and yeah, you might not know this. There is physical therapy, women, for your pelvic floor, not just for incontinence. It's called TLC.
Oh shit, tender loving care of your vagina. Let me look at
Yes.
that. TLC. What does it stand for?
Tender loving care.
Is that really what it means?
Yes, no, dead
So
serious. So, but
TLC,
it's, yeah, and
physical
TLC,
therapy.
physical therapy. And so it helps us women who have issues with bladder incontinence, bowel incontinence, and also they even have well, my lady did. She had a book where it helped with how to achieve orgasm and how to better your sex life with the lacks of sensation or things different ways, but
Well,
to
wait,
help
wait. Does
us.
it have to be lack of sensation? Can I send Miss Pat there? Just make sure that she keeps her pelvic floor nice and
Oh,
beautiful and
you know what? Let me tell you, I
help
asked
her
all the
sensation.
let me tell you, I asked all the inappropriate questions.
Why is it inappropriate though? Why can't we
Well,
talk about
no, we
sex and
can.
ask about
Okay.
all these things? I mean,
So
I mean,
there
see
is
how
a
uptight our society is.
I know. There is an internal TINS unit. So you've heard that
Oh,
TINS unit, that you put on the stimulator,
you could
right,
put
for
one on your
muscles?
you could put one in your pussy.
Yes.
Oh shit!
I
Now
asked
you're gonna
my
now you're gonna make me
therapist.
look that shit up.
Listen, I asked
Change
my
unit for your
therapist.
pussy.
Yes, I asked my therapist. I said, "Do you ever have women orgasm when you use this?" I'm just wondering.
Hell,
I was it's painful for me, but I mean, I have to ask that question because you would think because there's vibrators, whatever. You would think that it would cause you to orgasm, right? And I asked her, and she's like, "Oh, maybe two people." I was like, "I'm so sorry if I was inappropriate." She's like, "No, ask all the questions you want."
yeah,
Like I'm
why
just
not?
intrigued.
So,
Yeah,
so well, because there's certain exercise that women do at the gym that
right.
when you're exercising, they'll orgasm while they're working out and shit. So I get it.
It's a
So I'm
valid
looking up.
question.
Yeah, I mean, why not? So I see TLC physical therapy, but I'm not getting. I'm getting a lot of physical therapy or pelvic floor therapy.
Yeah, that would work. Yeah, because it's pelvic floor, but it's more in depth
So I
than
wonder where they can do that at. Does every physical therapy do pelvic floor? Like
no. There's only
unlocking. Oh, look at
one.
this. Mayo Healthcare Systems unlocking the benefits of pelvic floor physical therapy.
Hmm.
Oh. All right, so now I'm gonna have to fucking do research and shit. Now
I'm
I'm
just
gonna have
giving
an
you all kinds
episode
of
from
stuff.
somebody. Yeah, I'm gonna have an episode on somebody teaching us how to have pelvic floor physical therapy.
So Rascal Creek Physical Therapy here in Merced, that's
What is
who
it
does
called?
it. Rascal Creek.
Right. Do you still go there?
No, I don't. I don't go there for my physical therapy currently, but that's where I did it at.
Does that lady still work there?
Yeah, she's the owner.
Oh. Oh, so now maybe you can message her and see if she's willing to come on our podcast and talk about,
Yeah, because
yeah,
not
that
everybody knows about it.
I
I
didn't
had
know
no
about it. I'm a
idea.
good nurse, but I never heard of such a thing. I mean, I know there's the bin wall balls that they use, to make you
Yes.
do your exercise, the Kegel exercise and stuff. But I never would have thought you could put a tinge unit. What does it look like? Have you said you
It
used the
looks like a
tinge unit?
wand. Yeah, it looks like a as it for us women
Only one wand or two wands?
one.
Well,
So
because
for us,
for a tinge unit you need two patches and shit. So
right? No, this is a wand like as if we were getting vaginal ultrasound.
oh,
It
I
looks
got
like
you.
that.
Is it that big
Yeah,
and that long?
yeah,
And you're putting it as high as you can go.
yes,
And then you said it hurts.
yes. Well, it hurt me, and that was before
Like
we
the electricity hurt you.
no, like it was because it was stimulating nerves and causing
No, I
nerves
know,
to
but what I'm
fire.
saying is it's the electricity from the contraction that hurt you, not the
Yeah,
wand sticking in your hoo ha.
correct. Yes,
I got you.
yes, yeah,
So when it physically contracted, it hurt.
yes.
Why though? Why is that?
So she was saying that it was because I had a lot of nerve tissue and scarring.
So scarring up in your vagina
Yes.
and your pelvic floor.
Yes, in my pelvic
So
floor.
so what does it do? It just stretches out the scar tissue, breaks up the
Yeah.
scar tissue. This is shit
Mm-hmm.
that I'd like to ask her about. See, I'm
Yeah.
fascinated now. Shit.
It's
All right.
amazing. It is
Did it help
so
you?
amazing.
Do you
Hmm?
still do it?
No.
They don't let you
That
have
was
one at home.
huh?
They don't let you bring one home.
No, because not only do you use the unit, she'll use the unit, then there's manipulation that she does internally and externally at the
with
same
her
time.
hands?
Yes.
Oh, all right. See, I didn't know that. I
Hmm.
don't know, because I was curious. Like,
The whole thing.
did you
It's very
orgasm when she was doing it on you?
no.
All
No, I
right.
did not. No.
Well, she's not touching your labia or anything like that, or
No.
she
Mm-mm.
got her hands all up in your damn crotch, and
Yeah.
does she have to hold the wand, or he just sticks it up in there
No, she has to hold it. And then there's
and massages you on the
manipulation.
outside too,
Mhm. Mhm.
like around your symphysis pubis?
Yes.
That's crazy though, right?
It
I don't. But
is.
would you ever thought about that shit?
No,
What did
I
you think when she
wouldn't.
told you she's gonna stick a wand in your vagina to help your pelvic floor?
Right. I was like, what does it do? Like I was like, thanks.
Does it
Because
feel
it
like?
just
Can you feel the contractions? Can you feel it
you
getting tighter?
can. Yeah, you can.
Like tight and relaxed, tight and relaxed.
Yeah, you
And how
can.
many times did you do this?
I ended up doing that therapy was twice a week because I had a lot of I had a lot of pelvic pain. A lot of pelvic pain. And
And that's all
we
from the
couldn't
nerves and
understand.
scarring tissue. I wonder if it makes your
Yeah.
pelvic floor, because your S1 and S2 is not working. Now maybe we can find a neurosurgeon or somebody, but I wonder if because your S1 and S2, your nerves are kind of fucked up and it's making your pelvic floor kind of atrophied.
Yeah.
I mean, I know
Mhm.
it sounds crazy, but hear me
No, it
out.
doesn't.
Think about in a nursing home how people, if they don't get good passive range of motion, they get contracted.
Mhm.
And so if you're not careful, it can rip off, maybe it has the same and you can, because
Right?
otherwise, you ever seen people with so much contraction, they have to have surgery and cut it. And so I
Yes.
wonder if it does the same thing to your pelvic floor because
Yeah,
you're not using it.
that's possible. Definitely.
Mm. Do they use it for women who their bladder falls through the pelvic floor?
Mhm. Mhm.
All right. Because
People
that,
with bladder, when they have the bladder falling through or prolapsed uterus, prolapsed rectum, so it just helps to kind of tighten all of
wait, you
that up.
sticking this shit in my asshole and making my
No,
asshole
it's just
tighten
working
too?
the muscles and the tendons and the nerves
I
all
know, but are you
around it to
sticking it
keep
in
them.
my asshole to do
No.
the? So how does it help how does it help my
For women,
prolapse? No,
it
but
will
how does
help.
it help? Yeah,
It
but what
will.
if I'm a dude with a prolapse
Okay, well,
rectum?
I don't know what to do for you.
No, but ask her. I mean, that's what
It
I'd like to
could.
ask her. Like, does it work for men too to have a prolapse
Right.
rectum? Because I'm just curious and shit. See, now you got me curious.
I got
I
you.
know, but
Well,
that's why I love nursing and shit. You got my brain going and stuff.
right.
Because I love
Right.
this stuff. All right. So,
So we
I
did all
ask you that.
that. Mhm.
Go ahead, say it again.
So I did all the pelvic floor physical therapy. I forgot what you had asked me.
I ask you about your sex life, and are you still able to orgasm, or you still
Oh
have good
yes, and that's what
sensation?
got
That's how
me.
you got on
Mhm.
your
Mhm.
tinge unit for your
And that
pussy.
really and that really helped. It
We
helped a
call it a
lot.
pins. We're gonna call it a pins. But you said it did help a lot.
It did. It really helped a lot. And
But did you have pain when you had sex because of the?
yes. Yeah,
Oh,
cuz I had endometriosis, which I turned out later I found out was papillary proliferation tissue.
what
It
the
was
fuck is that?
biopsied. Okay, so here's another fun fact. So I have a lot of rare
Man, you were like a
conditions.
fucking mess, aren't you?
I am. I'm a hot mess. When I see my doctor, he's like, "There's my hot mess." Yes, here I am. So papillary proliferation tissue is tissue that grows and inside. So it's not endometriosis where it goes from out of the uterus, from inside the uterus to outside of the uterus. This just grows on its own and it is fed, it eats and grows all on its own. So mine took my left ovary and attached it to my small intestine and took my right ovary and attached it to my bladder.
Holy fucking shit! But do you think any of that could have stemmed from the abuse that you had from such a young age, though?
We don't know. It's a
But
rare
can I
type
ask
of
a
tissue.
can I ask a very personal question? Did your uncle penetrate you when you were 3 years old?
Honestly, not that I remember.
Did he penetrate you at any time between the 3 and 12 years old?
Not with penis. So
Right, but
yes.
with other objects?
His hand.
Okay, but that's my point. Maybe
Yeah.
because you were so young, could it have, I
Mhm.
don't know, maybe the sex experts out there could have caused some internal damage that they weren't
Right.
aware about, causing scar tissue, which kind of led to that.
Right. Absolutely.
And if you use dirty hands, did it cause any kind of bacterial infection? Did you have any chronic infections growing up in your uterus,
I
or
did.
see what I
I
mean?
actually, after I had moved to Merced, a month later, I was dealing with a whole bunch of cramping and pain, and I have found out I had stage 1 cervical cancer.
Well, see, so is that from that incident then? Did your husband cheat on you? And was he doing stuff with other women that could he brought
Right.
you stuff home? And
Right.
you know, do you ever
Mhm.
confess that?
I do
Did
know
you
he
ever
had
ask
slept.
him?
I did. I do
Mm,
know he had slept with other women.
see what I mean? But some of that could
Mhm.
have been from that. Yeah, I get you.
Mhm.
All
Yeah.
right, it's craziness, huh?
It is.
So how does it make you feel going through the life that you had and being a nurse? How's it helped you being a nurse?
Ah,
How's it helped you being a person?
it taught me to be a better mom, to be a stronger woman, and to be a better wife, and just a better
So
woman
wait,
all
wait, wait. Let's
around.
back up. How's it gonna help you be a better wife? Because that's gonna
Because
piss a
I
lot of
spent.
women off and shit. The mom part people
This is
get, but the
true.
wife part,
This is true. So, as in wife, as in for myself, like it taught me what I will and will not tolerate,
mm,
and it helped me with my next husband, with my husband that I have now, as to what my standards were.
I got you.
And, you know, and having that open communication and learning that it's because here was the thing that I've struggled in our marriage now, my with my husband, is I had to learn, because I'm still learning every day. And
I got you.
so I had to learn to be a better wife, as in it was okay now for me to be vulnerable, where
Mm,
before I couldn't be. So
right. You
now,
were too hardened, too scared. Didn't want to
exactly.
let your
And
guard down.
right. And so instead of
How
in
long did it take you to let that guard down?
a month ago,
Oh shit! All right. So it caused a lot of problems in your marriage. How long you been married this time?
we will be married 18 years this
And
year.
he's put up with this shit this long.
He has.
Mm.
He's
A lot of
amazing.
fights. A lot of
No,
fights though. No.
actually, we don't fight. No, no,
Mm.
we don't fight. We fought twice the whole time we've been
Is that
together.
really healthy though if you don't fight in marriage?
Yes, because
So is
I
it
used to.
unhealthy when you fight?
Yeah.
Is it
No,
really? Cause me and Miss Pat fight all the time. Does that mean we're unhealthy?
no, 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 no. So,
I don't mean physical fights. I mean arguments and shit.
with my first husband, we would fight, and it would
Physical,
be
physical.
ugly. Well, first be verbal and then go physical.
Mm,
And so then I noticed when my husband and I got together, which we'll be together 20 years, and I would purposely pick a fight because I
yeah,
wanted to have that
women do that often
inappropriate, unhealthy, like I was trying to just cause argument. I just wanted to, and
because
that was
that's what you were
unhealthy.
used to.
Exactly. And
Yeah, I
so
get it.
I had to learn not to bring what how I was and what was in my last marriage to this marriage.
All right.
So
Yeah,
so
but you
that
got a lot
was
of fucking baggage that he had to deal with.
exactly, and he accepted all of it. And I just, I let him know right off the bat what was not okay, what is okay, but mainly what was not okay. And that, like, we're just going to learn as we go.
Mm,
But it taught me, that's what I mean by in being a better wife, as in that, hey, it's have this communication. It's healthy to learn, like learning from him, as well, and teaching me different ways, not in a controlling way, but not bringing my first marriage into my next
all right.
marriage,
Yeah, but
and
it's
bringing that
you're gonna bring it
baggage.
in because you can't help it. You're gonna bring it
Right.
in. It's just you gotta learn to
Hmm.
let it go, though. Did
Yeah.
he ever put you in check?
My current husband.
Like
Oh
that's not
yeah.
appropriate.
Yeah.
I'm
he
not
he
fucking so and so. Don't fucking
yeah.
talk to me that way. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. I know, but it's hard sometimes to be a guy and stuff. And You know
It
what I mean?
is.
Yeah, I
And
got
I
you.
understand it. And I'm like, okay, babe. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. And and then we talk about it, but we don't fight. Um, we don't do any of that. But I think everything that I've been through is just it helped guide me and understanding people where they're coming from and meeting them where they're at and having that compassion for them and that
but now,
empathy.
but now that your body's giving out on you, and you're not able to work at the bedside, what are you
Hmm.
gonna do?
Well,
'Cause how long have
so
you been a nurse?
I have been a nurse for 14 years.
And when did you stop working at the bedside?
So I went into, let's see, 2019. I was working bedside skilled nursing and
Oh
DSP.
shit! Don't make me say the c word now.
And
Did the c
I
word fuck you up?
no, no.
Huh?
Um,
You know what I'm talking about? And I don't mean cunt.
no, no.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Which part? No.
The c word. The c word. 2019, the big c word that
Oh my
shut
gosh,
down the whole fucking
no.
country. You know, like,
Oh gosh, yeah.
did it fuck
That
you up?
no. I
Did it make
tell
you
you.
worse?
So I ended up getting that in 2020. So I switched from skilled nursing because that my body could no longer take it.
Right.
And so I went into mental health. I went into
Oh
psych.
yeah, you did tell me that you became a mental health nurse.
Yes.
So
And
you
so I
went from
worked,
taking care of old people to crazy people.
yes, to
Oh, I'm sorry.
mentally
I'm sorry. I shouldn't
mentally
say
ill.
crazy people. Mentally ill.
Mentally ill.
Sorry.
We got to break that stigma.
I
And
know. Look, I interviewed this lady and I love her. Fucking Nelly. Fuck you, Nelly. She's an awesome person, but she's like, it's not homeless, Kevin. It's unhoused. I'm like,
yeah.
oh shit.
Yeah. And
Look at me. If you don't have a fucking home, you're homeless. What
yeah.
call it whatever you want. Why are we so obsessed with words? Why are we trying to change words
Yeah.
to make people feel better? Instead of calling yourself a housekeeper, environmental services. You know what I mean? Instead of
Yeah.
fucking somebody who cooks you a meal, I'm a chef.
Yeah.
I mean,
Instead
why
of
do we have to make
housewife, I'm
ourselves
a homemaker.
yeah, but why do we have to make ourselves feel better by changing these fucking words? Why can't you just
Yeah.
appreciate what you are and shit? Like,
Yeah. No, I
I mean, I
agree.
don't want to appreciate that I'm mentally ill, but
I am.
I am mentally ill.
And I'm proud. It's okay.
All of us, I think, have some kind of problem. But anyway,
We
you were a
do.
mental health nurse.
We do. Yeah. So I'm mental health nurse working in inpatient and then worked in outpatient.
What do you mean by inpatient? Like they're there for a long term?
Yeah. They're there.
Like
Well,
are they going to get out?
they're there on a 5150. So
Oh, I
they're
got you.
there on a hold, a 72-hour hold. Some goes to a 14, can go to a
Yeah, but we
30,
have
and so on.
5150s in the ED and shit.
Yes.
We hold them.
Hmm.
So I just worked in the psych. I call it my psych unit here on the ED where I'm working, and I guess they hold people for this one lady. She been on 4 5150s. Like they just keep renewing it. I thought that was illegal. I didn't think that you could keep renewing the 5150. Like you get
Yeah,
72
that's
hours, and if you
uh-huh.
don't get seen by a psych, then you gotta let them go and shit. I thought
Yep.
that was illegal.
Yeah, so that's a tricky one. I think they were trying to change all of that because I think it's illegal to be able to do that because then they're going to have to release them because if they're still meeting criteria then they need to go to an inpatient.
But the problem is
We
there's
don't
not
have
enough inpatients. So
there's
what am I
not
going to
enough
do with the patient
inpatients.
in the ED who needs to go
Yep,
to inpatient, but there's not enough
exactly.
inpatients? So what do we do with you?
Exactly. And that's the issue. That's the
So,
big issue right now.
but you worked as an inpatient 5150. But how did they get to you?
They get to
Because
me through
50,
ED.
I know, but once they
Hmm.
get to you, I thought they couldn't be called a 5150. I thought they were like a 5151 or 5152. Like
No, they're
you're.
still no, they're still at 5150. And then when they
Have you
go
ever heard
to
that term I'm using?
yes.
5151 or
Hmm.
5152, whatever the fuck that's
Yeah.
called.
So what that changes is their duration of stay. So like if
Right,
they're there for the 3 days and then they still meet criteria, then it goes to like a 5152. So they're now on
right.
a
There you
seven
go.
day hold. And then it's a 14-day hold and then a
I didn't
30
notice,
day.
but there's a 5150 all the way to 5155.
Yeah.
How many of you motherfucking ER nurses knew that? Detention of mentally disordered persons for evaluation and treatment, 5150 through 5155. Did you know that? Did you know that was such a thing?
I didn't know the 5155, but I knew
I
that
didn't
there's
either. So
multiple.
5152 is your 72-hour past your 72-hour hold that deems to be, that deems to be necessary to be held and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now I gotta look up 51. You keep going. I'm looking up
No, you're
5155.
good. So I did that and I learned a lot. I went into mental health because I was on my way home from the skilled nursing facility as a DSD, and I seen someone waving for help, and something told me to turn around. So I did. I turned around, and when I did, I saw somebody collapse where I was turning around. So I stopped and I helped that person. And then we found out there were other bystanders that were like, oh, she came from over there. And so I was like, oh my gosh, let me go. And so then I was like, I'm on my way. We got this one taken care of. And I went down there and there was five other people. And it was, they were teenagers and whatnot and on something and whatnot and coming from a group home. And I was like, I want to help. This is a way for me to give back to my community. And that's what I always searched for. I always wanted to give back to my community as a nurse to help empower and impact the community.
Right.
And so that's why I went into mental health.
But was it still physically demanding? Like, oh,
Ooh.
I lost you. I know I lost you. Was it still physically demanding?
On
Like
the
it wasn't.
inpatient, yeah, on the inpatient, actually more so because we would have to deal with takedowns or um, people trying to assault us or stuff like that. So it was physically demanding. So then I went to outpatient. So that was nice because it was Monday through Friday, and patients were coming in that were more stable, starting medications. And so then that was monitoring. So it was a desk job and I loved it.
Yeah,
And I
but is
worked
desk job
telehealth.
good for you? Is a desk job good for you sitting down with your back and stuff like that, and your
No, because the up and down, I had a neurologist at CRMC who told me I shouldn't be working, and he goes, even though you're doing a desk job, that's not good. That's not good for somebody with your condition. And I said, oh, okay. I was
well,
like,
what
I
am I
didn't.
supposed to do?
Nobody
I
ever
can't
told
just
me.
fucking yeah. Well, what am I supposed to do? I can't just fucking not work.
Yeah, exactly. And so I continued to work, and my job let me come with my walker.
Is that
And
right?
then they let
All
me. I
right.
had my cane, and then they're like, "You need to
See,
start coming with your walker," because I would fall, stuff
you'd
like
fall
that.
at work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they probably didn't like that because that's they're gonna say that it's a
That
workers' comp on
liability.
them.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a liability. Though. I mean, I totally get it. I mean, I know it sucks, but if you came here to work and you fell on the job, then I'd be responsible, even though it wasn't my fault because
Yeah.
I allowed you and the doctor told you not to what.
He told me not to work.
Right? See what I mean? I know, but that's a huge liability and shit.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
Right.
But I loved it because I'm giving back to the community and helping others that are in need. And so I think, with my experiences, it really helped me to give back and be able to understand and resonate with my patients as to what they were going through and struggling with and
But
be able to guide them.
how long did you work as a mental health nurse?
4 years.
4 years. And did you see was a lot of them drug related? Was it like other things, causing their mental issues?
There were some that
Both?
were purely organic.
What? Oop. I don't know why we keep
I
getting
don't know
kicked off and
either.
stuff. I don't know.
There were some that was just purely organic, like no drugs, alcohol.
Mm.
Some were drugs, and then a lot of it was trauma. And it was
Like
really sad.
mental trauma, like trauma that you
Mental
and I
trauma
went through and shit. They just
and
lost it.
worse. Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you mean worse than what you and I went through?
Yes.
Holy shit! So you think so? We think we're fucked up, and somebody's even worse. See what I mean?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that probably made you feel good, didn't it? Like you thought you were fucked up, and you saw, like, oh shit, I should shut the fuck up.
Yeah. To a point. And then
I know
I
it's
was
crazy, right?
intrigued. Then I
Oh,
was intrigued. I was like,
I
tell me
know it's
more.
intriguing, but
Tell me more. Like,
well, I know, but
what's
you could
that
use
like?
that, write a book about it and shit.
Oh yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
what's that like? Tell me. Like, I want
So
to
what
know.
made you decide to leave? What finally made you decide to leave the bedside? Why did you have to leave the bedside?
Because my body could no longer tolerate it.
All right. So let's stop right here because I want to get into the next episode because this is part 3 of our interview with Alicia Tresidder. No, not even close. Let me look. I gotta look away and see. Alicia Tresidder.
Yes.
See, so I had to look away and shit. See, when I read that shit,
I
don't
know.
be mad at me and shit. I
I
fuck your
ain't mad
name
at
up.
you. I'm not mad at you.
All right, bitches. So I hope you listen. This is our 3rd part. We've already done part 1, part 2. So hopefully you'll fucking stay tuned for part 4. We appreciate you guys. Fuck you, bitches. But we love you and appreciate you. Transformation Nurse Academy, because we're gonna try to help transform nurses one nurse at a time. All right, we'll see you here in a little bit, okay?